Hey lads, Galaxy Boy here. Or I should say, hey everyone. Hey everyone, Galaxy Boy here. Anyway, today I want to talk about something interesting and something that I think is really important, and that would be and based on the title of the video, I think I think some people would associate this with a particular political party. But I think this is a bipartisan rule. Um, or one not that whatever like goes for both for all the sides, and that is, I think it is very important to not associate your political beliefs with your identity. And what I mean by that is what you believe in terms of your political beliefs should not be a core part of your personal identity, right? Um, for example, um, I think that now, to avoid actual political issues, I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give examples of things that you could metaphorically um, relate to this concept, and that is that in terms of physical identity, right? You know, you have you know, things like how tall you are, you know, what eye color what color your eyes are, right? Those are part of your physical identity, right? And you could understand that those things are different than the clothes that you wear, because people can see what clothes you're wearing, right? And that is a part of your identity to some degree, but it's different than your eye color, right? Which is an immutable quality of yourself. And so it's important to make the distinction between what clothes you wear, because those can change. They should change, but your clothes can change, and your style can change, and what you believe looks good on you can change or stay the same, depending on how you feel about it. And that it's different than your eye color, or how tall you are, or other physical immutable qualities, right? And I think this is very important for political beliefs, because I think when you start to associate your political beliefs with your identity, it becomes difficult to think critically with political discourse. And what I mean by that is that when someone disagrees with you and your political beliefs, if you associate your political beliefs with your identity, then they are then attacking and disagreeing with your identity, which may in fact offend you and negatively impact your life. Whereas if you don't associate your political beliefs with your identity, then when someone disagrees with you and your political opinions, then it's just, oh, they disagree. That now I can move on with my life. Like, sure, it may be better if I think I I think that there's an argument to be made that you would have preferred it if they agreed with you, but even if they don't, it's fine, because it's not a personal disagreement with your identity of any kind. It's just a difference in worldview, right? And it's unfortunate because I see a lot of people do this. I will see people with bumper stickers on their car about what candidate they like, and which um party they belong to and stuff. And it's a free country. um But you know, I think those people attach their political beliefs too much to their identity, and I don't think that is the best thing that it's not something that you should be doing. It's something that you ought to do. I think. Um, and like if you go back to the clothes thing, like you know, if someone said like, "Oh, I personally don't think those clothes look good on you," right? That's different than saying, "I don't like the color of your eyes," right? The first one is just like a difference in opinion, right? Like that's whatever, right? They can have that disagreement. You can move on with your life. Either changing it because maybe they're right, maybe they have some insight that you don't, or keep it the same because you just disagree. That's fine. It's fine to disagree with people. Um, but it's different than saying I don't like your eye color. That is a more of a difference. That is more of an offensive thing to say. Um, I mean, it's not like it's totally offensive. Like it's a very small. It's a very small immutable quality of someone. But you can understand how like that one could be considered more rude than the first one. Um, so yeah, and I unfortunately I see this a lot on the internet where you know you can tout your political beliefs and this and that, right? Um, without as much consequence than if you because you can't do that at like work and stuff. You know, work is not the place where you tout your political beliefs. You just don't do that, man. Um, and I want to make this clear that this actually has nothing to do with. This is not related to identity politics. Um, and then that sort of stuff. This is about identity, yeah, but it's not about identity politics. It's important to make that distinction because I think may perhaps some people will be confused about that, or not. Um, but just to be clear, I think it's important to understand that. But yeah, I mean, uh, I and this comes from for me. This comes from a place because I tend to be rather skeptical of things. Um, not that I'm particularly apolitical, but that I I tend to be cautious of strong political leaning in general. And so when I look at people who do have strong political leaning, I see this sort of like this sort of way of thinking about it, and I wonder, and I look at it and I'm saying like, oh man, it's unfortunate that their strong beliefs in this I think is clouding their judgment and negatively impacting their life. Um, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say about this. Um, subscribe or something, um, you know, or like the video. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna end the video.